2. So we do see, yeah, we do see the CUDDE'S cuties just for standard five-prong defense. We do see it is Walker, so it is Cudder in the jungle, Walker on jungle J, on support J, sorry. And yeah, we do see AP, Cudder, and Walker going in to get vision, but they just retreat back to the pigsty.
This is going to be a very interesting game in the bot lane because you've got a very poke-heavy team, both going. I actually forgot what that's called, the rune. But they're going against
Eric, so basically,
yeah. But
the whole point of that is you get.
Yep.
Yeah, the whole point of the area is you get it back so often. I just feel it doesn't do as much. And he said, we see the first Q go wide from the Seraph and the Encore Q. Meanwhile, Aatrox is being bullied early on by this Yord, although he's getting a couple of nice trades back.
Like Poppy underestimating, using her only cooldown and underestimating Aatrox, hitting all 3 Qs. No sweet spot, but his auto attack is very powerful as well. 12% max health damage. I think it's 8% at level 1, but that's still a lot.
And here Aatrox going back in. I mean, Aatrox is going to heal back a metric ton. But that's another thing the Mandems can do. They can buy a little thing known as Thorn Mail, and he can't do anything.
But no, actually, that's not true. Because he can just completely nullify it by just not hitting an auto attack.
We do see it on the health bars, AP and Co are having a big fight. I mean, these are two of the best mid laners in the tournament.
100%.
We do see Diana land the Moonlight, but she's decided she's going in. She wants to fight. Silas backs off wisely.
Very questionably played by the Silas. Silas has Conqueror, so that means in early trades, hitting a few attacks is so much worse than letting Diana hit. Because her attacks, 3 attacks, and she's immediately got Electrocute, which is bonus damage. While Silas does not have that same benefit. And Diana can just walk away with her W shield, taking less damage, but Silas, again, does not have that. And that is proven by him completely not having any agency in the lane.
I mean, it's going to take him a bit to get going, and it's his right fight. We do see in the jungle, though, it's a fairly standard clear set. I'm moving with a slight lead, but Lee Sin's not a million miles behind. Amumi will get to top lane first. He is sitting in that pixel brush. Meanwhile, Severe's starting to put a lot of pressure on this bot lane of the cuties, even with the Karma poke. Starting to build a nice early lead.
Aatrox is playing the lane perfectly, and Diana are playing lane perfectly. Having both mid and top winning their lane, and bot lane. No one's losing, no one's winning. It's very balanced bot lane. But top lane, mid lane, oh, we might see it.
And we do see AP going in, taking a tower shot. The Ignite gets used as well from AP, doesn't get much from it. Meanwhile, the Encore E comes out from Seraphine, doesn't get much. The Karma gets stunned up, but the Brom gets rooted as well. Seraphine is going to do a lot of damage to Brahmin. Namumu is in the area, flashes away from the bandage toss. And the Mandem think about turning it. Lee Sin is in the area. But this is the problem with the CUDDE'S. This is the problem with the CUDDE'S cuties. Is early on they have no damage or any real note in this bot lane. Otherwise that could have been and should have been.
But if you think about it, there's no damage, right? Yet somehow they flashed Amumu, knowing that if Amumu hit that hook, hit that like grab on, went in, had his second Q stack ready, they would just be dead. That would be a free kill to CUDDE'S cuties. That's why they had to flash it. And losing a flash this early on and not getting pretty much anything out of it, it's really something. It's really something they don't want to be in. They don't want to be in this situation. Aatrox knowing exactly his power, he knows exactly what he can do, exactly what he can get away with without using any HP and any agency in the lane. It's just perfect playing.
Yeah.
Ambessa, you see, would have been awful here because Ambessa has so many dashes and she's very dash reliant. And going into a Poppy with all dashes would have just been a loss.
Yeah, that is one thing I do like to see though from the side of the Mandem. Just taking that objective without any fuss. There was literally nobody there to even question it. And they'll say thank you very much for the mountain dragon. And now they can turn their attention to grubs. Which Amumu's already getting towards the area. Lee Sin's still making his way up, hovering the mid lane. Meanwhile, in top lane, Aatrox, did he miss the last ability, or did he just decide not to use it there?
Sometimes you don't use... Wait, you're talking about Q3?
Yeah, the QC, yeah, because the animation was there. He just decided to...
Nah, because if you
decided to use what?
It saves the cooldown, because the cooldown resets every Q you use. So if you don't use the last Q, you save like a few seconds where your Q will be out faster.
There we go again.
How it auto on her is very interesting.
Is this how controlled you would think, as we see AP jumping in, how controlled and disciplined do you think the early game would go from both sides?
Pardon, what did you say?
Is this how controlled and balanced you thought the early game would be for both sides?
Oh, absolutely, especially the top lane. Although I did not expect such a, you could say, stomp top lane. I did expect a very, very calm, collected game. But as you can still tell, both top lane and mid lane are losing on MACMOODIE's MANDEM side. CUDDER'S Cuties have complete...
I wouldn't say losing.
But 10 CS down on Sylas with him not having any agency on the lane, and they give up that Drake, which is not the best, not the worst, but Void Grubs is so much better than Drake, especially early on.
I don't know. I mean, in this comp, you know, we're talking about how resistances, how armor's going to matter for these two comps. Having a dragon which gives you extra buff to your defense.
But do you understand?
You're not going to shirk it.
You can always get a new dragon, you can't always get Void Grubs. Void Grubs, once 6 are taken, there's no more on the map. They're permanently gone, and you've capped out. Whilst Dragon, they can give away 2 dragons in exchange for Void Grubs, and then just get 4 dragons back, and then soul. That is very, very possible, and in my opinion, is so much more worth it. But funnily enough, the gold difference is very, very small, which is interesting.
There's 300 gold in it. We do see Centrally walking on a ward here. The CUDDER'S Cuties do know, and they're roaming up to trust him. AP's walking into jungle, but this Braum will just get to walk out of there. I mean, they were thinking of something there. They just never pulled the trigger.
Yeah, but it's very dangerous to be an enemy jungle, because they don't have all the information necessary to make a proper judgment sometimes.
I mean, what more judgment do you need than standing on a pink quad?
Surprised that although lanes are winning, they're not bot lane obviously. Bot lane is very, very equal. But I'd say top lane and mid lane are having an advantage. But there has been 0 kills so far, which is... And it's 9 minutes and 20 seconds in, and just no kills. We can only wait until it happens. Any changes in
to be fair, I genuinely think when that first blood gets taken, we will go into an absolute fiesta. We are literally in a melting pot, waiting for it to come to a boil.
Exactly.
And the question is, are we going to a West London fast food takeaway, or are we having boiled pork for dinner tonight, folks?
We shall see.
We do see the steadfast presence coming out for Poppy. Those QT does come out from the Aatrox. We do see the upgraded TP start to come through for the majority of people. And Lee Sim's looking for Braum's looking for a gank, but will get spotted on a ward. Surveyors have got to be careful here. Although Carmen's not really with, although we do see AP walking up. The steadfast presence coming for Poppy. What a knockup! Aatrox will take a tower shot. Thankfully for his Diana, who will get that first blood. I mean, that was a great play from the Cuties.
Poppy played amazingly, but there's just nothing you can do when both Diana and Aatrox are on top of you. But for what they could, it was amazing. They ulted, they CC'd, did everything to stall, try to get one to die in the tower. But that Aatrox flashed just before a tower shot would happen, saving his life.
Yeah, we do see Silas going in onto AP. This is more a distraction. Oh, beautiful choice to stolen out here for the Silas with a Mumu. I mean, anytime they try and engage now, they can't fight. They will take the second dragon, which is another health one. And I mean, we said obviously the dangers of the grubs over the dragon. I still would rather have these 2 dragons over the 6 scrubs, which Amumu looks like he's just going to take for free. Now, probably say this since being a top laner.
I mean, just look at that. Poppy goes exactly like where she needs to be. Pushes them on the tower, making sure they can't leave. But it's just in the end, it doesn't really change much because there's 2 people on you doing so much damage and you're too low HP to survive it. But as we saw mid lane, Silas almost killed Diana, but he had no mana, and I think he did use ultimate, but it's just he didn't have enough damage due to his lack of mana.
Yeah, I mean, we do see the Hextech Rocket Belt and the Blitzbane coming out on these mid laners. Slight advantage. Probably, I don't know, even still with that kill, I think the only real difference is it's a boots via pop. Really. Which if you're the Silas, you're more than happy with. Bot lane is dead even.
Lichbane is just better in the situation because Silas, although he gets HP, he wants to live in the fight longer, correct. But Diana wants to burst and kind of just walk away because once Silas has used his E, she is free to just completely walk away.
We do see Aatrox going in, landing another Q. But it's just like, these 2 top laners on their own aren't really doing much. Yeah, Aatrox has got a bit of a CS lead. And this Poppy's doing a great job. Meanwhile, we do see Rob going in, get a double out on that bot lane. Surfing is doing some damage back. The bandage sauce comes out. Silas is walking down. Sevilla is starting to rain down. She doesn't quite have enough damage. The surfing out, he hits 2. Combo gets the bomb. Connor could fall. The return ulti comes in from the Mandem. Doesn't quite hit more, but honestly, they've got to be careful now because Diana's here, and that's good. They see sustained. Oh, maybe not. Sevilla's starting to turn on AP. They're not going for the Silence. Lee Sin gets the AP shut down. They're trying to clean up to try and get that fierce strength. We told you when there was 1 kill it would warm up. And boys and girls, they definitely are. We see the flash down and will clean up Lee Sin. Toki is going back in. Trying to get 1 back, but the shutdown will go to the Karma. Great fight for the Cutter's Cuties.
What a
but
fight.
we told you it would come to a boil, and it definitely is.
Like a volcano, you put a lid on it, you try to stop the kills, eventually you fail.
Cole's not finished though. On the Silence. Oh my god! That chain lands, that's a dead Karma.
Silence
you got it.
Full of his team right now. You can tell his team is saying, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
You gotta appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
You gotta respect the effort, respect that. It's just unfortunate in the end.
But that fight went crazy. It kept switching sides from CUDDE'S Cuties to MACMOODIE's MANDEM to CUDDE'S Cuties to MACMOODIE's MANDEM. And then in the end, the winners of that fight were the CUDDE'S Cuties. And now you have Seraphine with a 3-0 lead. And that is very high for Seraphine. I think as a Seraphine yourself, you can say that Seraphine's damage along with her CC gets pretty high.
Yeah, and that is just boots for the Mandem, and we said this is going to explode. Enough for the Mandem for the Cutter's Cuties. I mean, top lane's going to probably take a tower, though. Poppy's going to have something to say about that. She gets rid of. She's got 1 minion left to clear, but Luca will get the tower. However, he's now got to be careful because Poppy's starting to get tanky. The steadfast presence comes out. The Aatrox is low.
Aatrox is not the one to be. No, he's not. He's still holding ultimate, and he has Son this guy.
Meanwhile, we do see a trader down ults. Poppy's at low, getting low here. She's got to be careful. Meanwhile, we do see AP get shut down by Cole. Karma comes up to help. In the top lane, I would say they're still fighting, but Poppy did fall. As he predicted, this Aatrox.
Yeah, Aatrox
is now well in control.
He has his ultimate and he has Sun the Sky and his passive up. 1 auto attack, quarter of his HP at this stage of the game is completely healed. He is not the one in danger, he's the one creating the danger.
Now we do see the MANDEM trying to set up on this next streak. I mean, they know that one of their win cons now has to be getting this soul. We do see the TP coming out from the Silas to come over, and Poppy's coming in as well. They want to fight this, and they want a 5-man team fight. Aatrox is in the area as well. We do see the Braum getting. This is a nice one for the comp of the CUDDER'S, I'll give you that. If they're careful. I mean, we do see Sivir getting that push in mid lane, which is all important. We do see Luca going in, but misses, Seraphim misses. A lot of misses from both sides right now. But we do see Silas with his Amumu out. He's literally looking for the chains to jump on and then stun the whole of the cuties. The moonlight goes wide, the crescent moon. And we see the Seraphim out coming in. Silas looking to go in on the back line. Luca will clean up the Braum. Seraphim will fall. But Lee Sin gets shut down by this Aatrox. Cole is going to fall to the Diana. The cuties are like a pig in a pigsty. They are loving life right now. And the MANDEM are absolutely falling apart.
It happened exactly as I said in fights. Exactly as I said. That Seraphino, then another ult, just this chain CC ult, and they could do nothing. Did you see how high HP the CUDDER'S cuties were at the end of the fight? Sure, Seraphine got one shot by that Silas, but other than her, they're all basically still really high HP after completely decimating MACMOODIE's MANDEM with a lead of 4-11.
Yeah, I mean, we see right here.
Yeah, you can definitely see that. Seraphine is waiting for her ultimate, but Silas is going round. We're sneaking around trying to get, but they take this opportunity to run 4v5, which Silas, honestly, a little bit of a throw, you'd say.
Yeah, I mean, they do get the Seraphim, but the problem is, at that point, you know, your front line's gone, and yeah, it's just rather unfortunate.
Questionable flash from Aatrox. I mean, but it is what it is.
And the scary thing for the cuties, or for the MANDEM, is this 4-0 Aatrox. He is starting to get a bit scary. I mean, we're seeing a 5k gold league up, not insurmountable, but we need to see these MANDEM push these side lanes, get advantages there, and then collapse. Force them to react. But they've got a nice bit of standing gold to claim here, though.
I do say that if MACMOODIE's MANDEM are going to do those kind of big 5v5 fights, it will just be completely over. Okay.
Oh, Cole getting caught out here. Yeah, I don't think he's long for this world. We do see the turret, the will fall in bot, but he won't give his life for it. Now a 5-0 Aatrox.
He also didn't get a goal for the tower because it died on its own, and he wasn't near it. So that is actually
a bounty gold for it, though.
Oh yeah, but not like the 500 gold it gives on kill, I'm pretty sure. Which is quite a bit of gold, especially when they're already like behind them by that much. 5k gold leads. They can't be dropping any gold. But would you look at that? 2 Drakes. Was true Drakes really worth 6 grubs? I'd say no, because now they're stuck in a situation where, because Drakes are only really good late game because they give percentage based buffs, whilst Void Grubs are good anytime because they give flat buffs to destroying towers, which is exactly the pressure that CUDDER'S cuties have on this game.
Yeah, I am happy to see, though, we are seeing some MR coming through slowly for these MANDEM. They know they need to deal with the MR. And they've got the armor items, so they can deal with this Aatrox as well. We've got the Sunfire on the Poppy. She's working towards the Thimblewinter. But we've got, obviously, the starts of the what's that one? Part of the Wet Sense? Is that Wet Sense? You'll know more, because it's more of a Bruiser item. That second item up from the left on the Lee Sin. Meanwhile, we do see Poppy going in. Personally slapped an AP. They have to use his audience. But Silas is waking up. We go out to see the Seraphine out. Well, 2 on the tower. Top will claim the Lee Sin. But Silas will solo kill. The Diana problem is they're cleaning up in the mid lane for the cuties.
That is a very, very interesting dive. They dove the Seraphine thinking, we're gonna get the Seraphine, but in the end, they were the ones that were being laid a trap for. But that item on Lee Sin builds into more, which is a very good Omnivamp item for... does it still give Omnivamp? Maybe they changed it to Lifesteal. But I know it's still very, very good, especially into a team with such high burst.
And yeah, I mean, they are trying to do Arcan, but they decide against it, as we do see the TP coming in from the Silas. And Silas is just going to try and take it down solo. This is risky, although he does have backup coming right now. The Mandem, they know the probably Furies are there, but they know they need to go for this. They are pulling it away from the Furies. Furies have to be careful though, because the backup here, we're going to get a team fight. It's going to be an upfight, and the Mandem, they needed to get something. And they do get the Atacad at the life of cost of Joni's life, and they do pick up flowers. The Seraphine Encore goes wide. Brom takes the one for the team here. Tom is on a killing spree, 6-1 and 6. So that Atacad means we're still got a game, folks.
But I'd say that Atacad was even worth it to give away 2 kills. Sure, it's the people currently inting with 0 kills and 3 deaths, but it is still very questionable because it does kind of mitigate some of the loss that CUTIES some of the loss that CUTIES, because the XP doesn't really change much. Doesn't change much. Sure, they give some adaptive force, but I'd say that in the end, it's not as big of a lead as it could have been. Because I think CUTIES were baiting to leave, but then when they started doing it, they all joined in because CUTIES can't fight if they lose so much MR, so much AD, armor from Atacad, because he shreds it all, making team fights very, very sticky.
Yeah. We do see Shelly's going to be next to useless as Aatrox is driving it. Doesn't get far, but it's a great opportunity for Mumu to take the second Drake. And honestly, with the Seraphine, an extra shield buff won't hurt. The Seraphine ulti only farms one, and it is the Braum. Doesn't get the most purchase. Meanwhile, we do see a steadfast presence. Braum will fall, but they don't have Silas in the fight, and they're just going to force back under the tower. We do see Diana getting a bit low, but Silas, look at the damage in the top lane, trading it for the Diana in the bot lane.
Very, you know it's like a hard fight when Lee Sin uses ult to push someone out. Because if that Aatrox was not pushed out, he would have got maybe 1, maybe 2 more kills in that fight. Also, smart use of it, I have to say, but just not something you want to see, especially when they're so far down. They need some kill, they need something to gain back.
Yeah, I mean, here we see the Mandem, great movement in. They know exactly where they need to stand for this Atacad. But the Cuties, I just want to see them move a bit sooner. I mean, that should have been their dragon. There's no reason why they're focusing this Braum. Just ignore the Braum, walk past them. I don't understand why Poppy goes in there, though. You've got to just get out. And that Seraphine out, he goes into the wall. But Braum does end up giving the life science to Karma. But no, there's still a lot of league to be played, folks. And as much as it's not great for the Mandem, they're definitely not out of this.
Oh, 100%. They can still make it back. But what they do need is, because this is Chemtech Drake, right? And Chemtech, especially for Aatrox, especially for Mumu, Diana, they want to stay in fights, although not super long. Diana, they want to stay in fights for longer, right? And I think it's very, very dangerous if they get Chemtech Drake, because the amount of healing, the amount of shield power they'll get, especially having Seraphine and Karma, with how much healing and shielding they do, it's very dangerous.
Yeah. And we do see the Cuties, they're just going to get a free Nasher. 5 kills to 17 in favour of them. Solid at 9k gold lead. 8k gold lead, sorry, but I mean, for the Mandem, yeah, needs something to happen, and needs to happen soon, and that should be it. They can't take us out. He goes into a bouncy house. You might be able to and you might be able to heal back a lot. But when you get 5 man in the jungle, Surf Ulti's coming in left, right, and centre, but your big damage is gone. Seraphim is still doing a lot. They get one, but a shutdown goes to the Silas. Connor looks like he's going to fall, but not before they force him out. Silas going back in with the healing. Seraphim will fall to the Sevier. Beautiful shutdown, and for the first time, the Mandem win a fight. And what a fight it was.
They did get some juicy bounties in there, but do you really think that it's enough to get back such a lead? Because keep in mind, there's no objectives on the map. They both had losses on both sides, and there isn't like a huge gain. Because at the end of the day,
there's a massive gain. There's a massive thing though. You see that purple buff? You see that purple buff across the Aatrox and what the split breaches? That's gone. Now, unfortunately, the first shutdown does go into the Braum. But as you see here, once you lose that Aatrox and the Seraphim, there's no damage. And Silas, if he can get close to you, I hate to tell you, this Seraphim's doing nothing. And that is as a Seraphim lover. As soon as I see a Silas walk up to me, I am getting the hell out of there. And honestly, it might only be one fight, but that is a big thing. Silas is going in again on the corner. Diana does jump in, Amumu lands the bandage cross. Silas is back to quarter health though. She's doing a lot, unfortunately he will get the kill, but not to the corner fall. Diana comes in, a beautiful coordination with the Seraphim, and that was a great play from the Cuties.
What an ultimate combo that was. Diana hitting a massive ultimate, trusting the Seraphim to hit that ultimate, and in fact did. And from a Karma, a single Karma died. 4 people on MACMOODIE's Mandem's team perished into what other could be described as a slaughter. It wasn't even close. Yeah. Now taking a huge lead.
For whatever the Mandem got in that fight in the jungle, they just lost it all there. Meanwhile, the Cuties, I mean, you've got to be careful, you take a couple of tower shots, and the Cuties are going to secure their 3rd dragon.
But see what I mean? The difference between the last fight and this fight got them Drake. It got them something substantial other than just gold that eventually is worthless. Because if everyone's full build, it's like nobody's full build. And it's just the exact same playing field, right? But this time, because they've got Drake, they've got permanent gain that the other team will not have. This is a benefit. And now they're putting on Soul Point, which is very, very dangerous. I mean, you don't want to be having this.
I still think, though, the longer this game does go on, though, it suits the Mandem more. Because yes, Diana's going to have a bit of scaling, obviously the Seraphim will scale. The next problem is Aatrox will hit a point, he will fall off. But only that, look at the items that are coming through. We're starting to see 3 bits of anti-heal now for the Mandem. You've got the anti-heal on the Severe, you've got your Bloody Orb on the Silas, and you've got the Bramble Vest on this Poppy. Yes, and Diana! Oh my god! She just gets blown up! AP's trying to play a frontline mage again. Difference than at least everyone wants to be. Problem is we now see Silas with Amumu out. Seraphim now only hits one. Amumu goes in, tries to stun up. Braum will fall to Seraphim, but the problem is Silas is going to start to go a bit nutty here. Not before Aatrox is going to force the Severe way back, but problem is Severe will fall. Aatrox is getting grounded by this Poppy. Silas is going back in. Aatrox still grounded, and Aatrox will fall to the auto. Meanwhile, they send falls to Amumu, but Seraphim will pick up the Silas, and all that's left is Poppy. Well, the Cuties are walking in.
I mean, you're saying that Aatrox is going to fall off. Aatrox is going to fall off, he said. He stalls half a team on his own and fights and kills one. That is very, very big. And especially now, how there's only one person at the Braum, the support who cannot do any damage. They can just take a tower for free. For free, no repercussions. And Baron is coming up very, very soon. And they're in a good position to take Baron.
Yeah. The Mandem need to pick their socks up because they need to do something here. We're now at a 10.7k gold lead for the Cuties. If you're the Mandem, you're just in turtle mode right now to get this Sivir online. She's got the Infinity Edge, she's got the Untiles, and she's got some anti-heal. She's only got a few items to go. Great set of CS, a nice CS lead. But she needs a front line to be able to work. And that's what they need to work on. But this Braum has not worked out. And people say Braum's a Seraphine counter.
Then we see the gold, because from what it seems, I think Seraphine has more gold than the Sivir.
Yeah, I mean, with 11 kills, you would hope so.
Damn right. I mean, because think about it, what is CS? What is CS? But in the end, it doesn't matter because Seraphine still has more gold. You know what I mean? More gold than everywhere. Everybody has more gold. The closest gold, I think, is bottom.
I mean, when we do see a fight over at the Baron Pit, obviously the Cuties do get it, and they still hit one on the Seraphine now, even though it goes a wee bit wide. There's the Poppy, though. Johnny won't get blown up. And for the MANDEM, they need to go back to the drawing board because the Cutters, Cuties, they're taking it out to pasture, and they're gonna secure this game #1. The Cuties have come out with a vengeance. They are definitely here to play. They want to fight, and they're not letting the MANDEM do it. Yeah, they should end here. If they don't end, I'll be surprised. I mean, they might have huffed. They are huffing, but they are blowing the MANDEM's base down. In game 1, the Nexus doesn't stand a chance. We see the meme from the Karma, but that will be game 1 to the Cuties.